Okie dokie. All right. Just waiting for it to buffer here. There we go. Hello, hello to everybody out there. Hello. And I can totally hear myself. Hate that. Okay, there we go. I'm muted, so I can't hear myself anymore. Hello. Hey there. Hey, Shuin. Hi, Michelle and Elizabeth. Hello. Welcome. Happy Thursday evening. I hope all you guys are doing well. Hey, Teresa and Tracy. Welcome. How's everybody's day treating you / week treating you? Hello, Etienne. I don't know if any of you guys feel this way, but I just feel like I don't even know. I do know what day it is. It's Thursday, but I really don't know what day it is. Like, I feel like this week has gone faster than many recently. And like, we're almost to Friday. Like, what just happened? Yes. Yeah, Etienne, like funny story. Normally I post my project life spreads on Wednesdays, right? So, and I've been doing this for over a year. I've been posting those on Wednesdays, or I believe they haven't always been Wednesdays, but they've always been like once a week, and now they're on Wednesdays. And I woke up Wednesday morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I did not even make my project life spread this week. Like, I don't even know what's happening right now. So I haven't even done it yet. I still need to do it. I might start, I might push that one to next week and then just be a week off, which gives me a little bit of extra time in case, you know, something like this happens and I just completely forget to make it. I don't know. I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? I don't even know. Anyway, that's, yeah, yes. So I'm glad I'm not alone, you guys. Good. I'm glad I'm not alone. Hey, Kate, I saw you come in, and Brenda. Hey, ladies. Hey, Joanne. So yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, it's nice to be back. It feels good to be back here with you guys tonight. I have I think I have 6 projects pulled aside to put together. We'll see if I can get to all of them. If I don't, it's no big deal. If I do, awesome. These are ones that I had previously planned in for my Patreon. So I have 3 of them are using the March Colorcast Designs products, and 3 of them are using the Made from Scratch Paper Person products. I am in my Patreon. I'm actually May, which starts, you know, in 2 days. I am going to test out some live content and doing the rest of these projects that I plan live over there. But I have some in my stash that I do just want to get told, and at this point, you know, it's older, so I'm just going to get them done here tonight. Which brings me to a little bit of housekeeping and one pretty big change that I'm going to be making here with YouTube starting next month. So, so starting in May, I'm going to take my Thursday lives and do them bi-weekly instead of every week for a multitude of reasons. One, because I just would like to have that extra little bit of time with the family on weeknights. And 2, because I have almost run through all of my projects that I already had planned, where all I had to do was grab photos and journaling and get that prepared for you. And now that I'm almost through all of that, what that means is that moving forward, so starting in May, we're going to be working with older story kits, which was always my intention when I changed Story Kit Crush to be more current, was to eventually take my Thursday lives and turn those into like live Story Kit Crush nights using older kits. So in the month of May, I'm going to crush the rest of my design story kit. So I have some projects that I made, and then I have a whole bunch of them that I still have ready to go. So in May, I'm going to do design, and in June I'm going to do tech. Both of those I have already done a planning video for, so the design video is on my YouTube. The tech video I did for a class, so I actually can't I can't give that to everybody for free because it's part of that company's like database now. I feel like that was Simple Scrapper maybe, or something like that. It was for the Scrap Smarter experience. I did the tech kit. Anyway, so for May and June, the planning portion has been completed, so it's just going to be working through the rest of the kits. In July, I will pull out a new kit that I haven't planned yet. So what I will do is on the first, let me think about this. Yes, on the first Thursday of each month, I will release the planning video for the older kit, and that will just be voiced over and all of that. It won't be live. And then the second week and the fourth week of the month, I will be here live doing the actual projects with you. So it just gives me a chance to get all of this stuff ready so that when we get here live, it's just putting them together and it's not, you know, a super labor intensive thing. So that is my plan. So starting next month, we're going to reduce Thursday lives to bi-weekly instead of every single week. If you want more lives than I'm doing here, I am going to start doing them in my Patreon on Wednesday afternoons. So that will be like Wednesday at noon, which I know is also a time zone that works for some, but not others. So it allows me to like play with time zones and get, content in various different times, which is also cool because I'm here by myself on Wednesdays. So it'll let me just like craft and do my thing. Anyway, so that's what's coming starting next month. So today we're working on Colorcast and Paper Person, and then starting next month we will do some kit crushing, which will be really fun. So I'm really so excited to dig into those older story kits and get stories told and, you know, do kind of like double crushing during the months, which will be really fun. So that is that. What tier is the Patreon? So for Patreon, currently I have 2 tiers. The first is just a very basic, like basically you get 1 video a week and part of the Facebook group that I run. And then the second tier right now is the only like substantial one that I have. And it is a couple of planning videos, a couple of process videos, the Facebook group, some project life videos, and there's other things too, I don't remember. So what I am testing for May is my tier 2 people are essentially getting what will eventually be tier 3. So that's going to be two lives, some extra blog content, and then I'm also going to start crushing digital kits in Patreon. So just a way to get into those digital elements and really play around with hybrid projects and stuff like that. So I know I would like more of that. I know the community at large, you know, wants to learn more of that. So I enjoy teaching it. So that's something I wanted to bring into a tier 3 when I'm ready for it. So next month I'm going to test it. Assuming it all works out, then I will have a 3rd tier that includes all of that starting in June. So if you want to, you can come in and join at tier 2 and try it out for a month if you want, see if it's something you like. But yeah, that's essentially what that is. So cool. All right, guys. So I'm going to get you flipped around here onto my desk. Because I think that's all the housekeeping I have for you. Which means that next week I won't be here. So next week there will be not a live. The week after that there will be, and then there won't be, and then there will be. I'll have to figure out if I can post some kind of like calendar or something here on YouTube, or definitely I can do it on Instagram. But I think that there's a way to do like community posts here on YouTube as a reminder. So I'll do that so that you guys know what dates I'm going to be here well ahead of time, in case you are a person like me who has to have everything pretty scheduled in order to remember what is happening. So that's that. Okay, let's get you flipped around onto my desk. I've already got one out and ready to go, and we're just gonna get crafting. So don't mind me while I switch things around. key. There we go. All right, now I just got to make sure that you're straight here. And then we'll be set to go. I feel like that's better. Okay. All right. So, oh, you guys, thank you for Colorcast. Yeah. I feel like maybe I need to adjust this. Yeah, I'm really excited to work with Jessica and her Colorcast stuff. So I mean, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of Colorcast Design. I use her stuff all the time. Jessica Upton is the designer and creator and owner of that company, which is why I say Jessica. And her stuff is just awesome. And she's an awesome person. And it's funny because I was talking to her about, like, you know, what requirements would be and that sort of thing for it. And she was like, listen, you already basically do it. Like, you know, you already do it. Just apply. So that's what we did. And yeah, I'm thrilled to be a part of it. So hopefully I can show you guys lots of different ways to use all of her awesome stuff to help tell stories. Because ultimately that's what I love. I love when I can find companies that not only make beautiful stuff, but that also help me to tell the stories of life. And hers certainly does. So yeah. Oh, what? Christmas gnats. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is the funniest autocorrect I think maybe ever. Christmas gnats. Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. Hello. Hey, Tina. Oh my gosh. That was funny. That gave me a legit laugh. So yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, so oh, you subscribed. Yay. Yeah, I know. Oh, shipping. You guys, I wish shipping costs weren't so, like, outrageous to different companies, because that is, I think, the biggest barrier, isn't it? Like, regardless of how long the products take to get to you, because I know that that's also annoying that they don't get there in time. But even if they took forever, if the costs of that at least weren't terrible, then I feel like, you know, there wouldn't be such a big barrier. So it's sad. It's a bummer. But Shuin, I hope that you enjoy the stuff that you get, especially like the summer months. All of the stuff is so bright and cheerful, and I love it. Yes. Hey, Lorley. Yay. Great shipping. Yes. I wish. Maybe someday it won't be so bad. Okay, so this was like a crazy idea I thought of the other day. Well, I thought of when I was planning this thing. I really didn't know how to use the tomato paper that came in the kit. It has this cute little fork and knife pattern on the back. But anyways, I didn't really know what to do with the tomato paper. So I thought to myself, you know what? There are some tomatoes on here that could be like, I don't know, like place markers for photos and journaling. Almost like bullet points, but I don't know what else to call them because they're not really bullet points, but like, you know, clear indicators of separation of text. So we're going to cut out some tomatoes and see what we think, which will be really funny. To bulk order. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh my gosh, that is crazy that you set up a mailbox in the US. So how does that work? Like you send it to your mailbox in the US and then send it to yourself from there? Trying to understand how that works. Yeah, so crazy. It's sad for companies too. So, for instance, my mom, has her own business where she makes aprons for women and children. And our biggest market, I want to say 5 years ago, because I worked for her as, you know, for a period of time, our absolute biggest market outside of the US was Australia. You know, so many sales to Australia. And at that time, the shipping costs weren't horrible. Like, they were definitely more than it costs to have it shipped, you know, in the country of sale. But it wasn't bad enough that it was, you know, turning people away from it. So then at some point, the shipping costs all raised, like astronomically raised, and it totally cut off that market for us, which was so sad. Like, we had this, it's actually really cool. We had this little girl, her name is Charlie. So she had a YouTube channel, and she doesn't anymore because now she's older, and, you know, she still has a YouTube channel, I think, but does something else. But for a long time, she had this channel called Charlie's Crafty Kitchen. It was so cute. It was her and her little sister, and they would like demo how to do different recipes, like cookies and cake pops and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. So it was like a cooking show for kids, and we used to be the supplier for their aprons for years and years and years. And then when the shipping stuff happened, you know, they had to find somebody else because it was too much. So it's hard on companies too, because, like, especially small business, because, like, you know, we would love to be able to keep costs down in order to keep those markets, but sometimes it's just not possible. So it's a bummer. Okay, so we almost got these tomatoes all fussy cut out. And here we go. Okay, so there's that. All right. So your mailbox is in Oregon. Everything goes there. Oh, that's a really interesting way to do it. To, like, send a bunch and then package it all and then send it back. Interesting. Do you have somebody who's there who does that for you, who, like, receives it and then repackages it to send it to you? Okay, so now we have to decide, do we like the tomatoes where we see the side of them, or the tomatoes where we see the tops of them? I know this is so random, but it's whatever. It's fun. Okay, also these, I might as well put these in here too. So I printed off these pictures of food that Erin made. So this, I should say what this spread is about. This spread is about Erin taking over as head chef in House Idunate. So he cooks all our food, and every once in a while he feels fancy and wants to make, like, you know, recipes like all the way from scratch. And so I took some pictures. Some of them I took and some of them I did not. Like this, I did not take that. We don't have fancy, like, sushi bowls and chopsticks, for sure. It's a beautiful picture though. So I grabbed some pictures of the things that he made recently, and I'm adding them to here with a little bit of journaling underneath about what they are. So this was a chicken teriyaki avocado bowl. So it's kind of sushi-ish, but with no actual sushi. And then this was a baked spaghetti. And then this was Swedish meatballs that he made. So I might as well stick these on here. And then and then I just need to add the tomatoes. So, like, literally the tomatoes have nothing to do with my story. They just are cute, and, you know, I want to use them, so why not? Is how I feel about it. All right. Let's stick that on there. Oh no, you're bad at fussy cutting. You know what? It just takes a lot of practice. I think. And then I will say that some people have just really good fine motor skills, right? Like, even, it's so interesting because my daughter, Isabella, has always had incredible fine motor skills. Maybe not so incredible gross motor skills, but definitely incredible fine motor skills. That was very noticeable from a young age. Whereas like my son is probably more average, you know, like he's okay. But she always had a knack for things like that. Okay. So that is my grid of food down there. I wonder if I should have done this one instead. If I like that kind of better. Oh, I might. Okay, I kind of like this better. I was not planning on this pattern. Let's see if I can get this tape off without making too much of a mess on the paper, and then we'll use it because I kind of like that. Let me see, what are you guys doing? Let's see. I want to use this kit to tell the story of why I eat like I eat, but I keep not taking photos of my dishes. I find that taking pictures of food is the hardest thing to remember. I am terrible about taking pictures of food. Terrible. And I didn't even know it until I was using this kit, because I usually don't document food. So when I got this one, I was like, okay, well, you know, great. This is a great opportunity to document the food that I eat. And I was like, wait, I literally never take pictures of food. So I guess what you could do is do what I do and search your recipe online and just get their pictures. It's the same thing, right? But no, it's seriously though, it is hard to remember. You pretty much only take pictures of food. I love it. Well, so then this kit was like, did you get this one, Shewin? Do you subscribe to Paper Person? I'm trying to remember if you do. I feel like you must, right? Because you got the beer stuff. Anyway, then this would have been the perfect kit for you, for sure. Yeah, so like every time I get a new food stamp, I'm like, oh man, I'm never going to use this. Because I just don't document it. I do for like week in the life, because I am, you know, hyper focused on getting all the little details of life. But I don't otherwise. I take pictures of drinks too, for sure. Yes. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. So is it, okay, tell me if I'm pronouncing your name right. Is it Lynn or is it Linny? The first one, Lynn, or is it Linny? Because I want to say your name, but I also don't want to get it wrong. Lynn or Linny? Okay, so I'm thinking I kind of like these ones better. Maybe. What do you guys think? Do we like the tomatoes with the little green at the top, or the tomatoes with the middle? Lynn. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought, but then I was like, oh man, I'm probably going to say this wrong. So Lynn. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Lynn. Set an alarm on your phone. Ooh, that's a good idea. I should set an alarm on my phone to take pictures of food. You vote for side. I think so too. Pizza and bread. Etienne, I'm the same. I feel like if I do, okay, I'm going to do green at the top. You guys, I got 2 votes for that. We're going for it. So if I take pictures of any food, the pictures that I'm taking are of our pizza. Pizza and beer. That's about it. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. Okay. So we're just going to stick these up at the top. And they're going to behave as though they like go in the column. That's, I guess in my head, that's what I thought made sense. I don't know. And then I can feel good about using the tomato paper that I didn't know how to use. Yes. Millie! Hey, Millie! I saw you just come in. I don't know if you said hi earlier, but just in case. Hi. Yeah. Okay, so I swear I eat more, right? Do you ever like, okay, this is the worst for me. I will have an awesome meal. Like whether it's from a restaurant or Erin makes it or, you know, something like that. And you don't even think about it because you're like starving at this point. So you're like, just give me the food because I need it. Like right now, I need it. So you dig into it and you eat like half of it, and then you think, oh, I should have taken a picture of this. Because that is 100% what I do, like every time. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp this little title up here. It says home cooking. Also, I'm pretty sure I have to hole punch this. Yeah, so let's hole punch this thing. We shall see if I carry through. Yes. Right, and then you like take a picture of it because you're like, well, I should take a picture of it, and then you're like, this isn't this looks not appetizing at all. Like, this does my meal no justice. It's the best thing I've ever had, but this picture makes it look terrible. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Okay, so there we go. We got our hole punches in. Let's stamp ourselves a title and then decide if I want anything else on this thing. I don't know. Partially I need to make spreads just so I have an excuse to use the, what do I want? Oh, black. Just so I have an excuse to use my food stamps because I just don't ever use them. Okay. So this says home cooking. I thought it would be an appropriate title. I was thinking about stamping like Erin's recipes or, let's get this in the middle here, hopefully. Or using alphabet stickers, but the alphabet stickers are white, so I'm not gonna do that. Good enough. Okay, clean this thing off. You just put it back. That's hilarious. I love that. I mean, people who take really awesome pictures of food are super talented, right? I mean, they're like, I can't take good pictures of food. Anytime I take a picture of it, it doesn't look appetizing. These look amazing. All three of them look amazing, and I did not take those pictures. If I did, they wouldn't look amazing, which would be hilarious. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna leave that as it is. It's just, I mean, it's pretty like clean and basic and, you know, lots of white space, but it looks cool to me. And then on the opposite side, I've got a couple of cards here. So I've got this homemade that can go here. I've got a picture of Erin actually cooking. And these will just go in like a 4 thing. I did do some journaling about Erin becoming the chef. And then my plan is to cut this out and add it onto a stamp background card. So let's create a stamp background. And then this little page will be done. So I'm thinking, what do I want to do for my background? I'm thinking I want to do, oh, what stamp do I want to use? Okay, maybe like made from scratch. I don't know though. Maybe not. Maybe, I think I'll do this one, this little circle one. And we'll just make like a circle pattern. That will be cute. I'm for that. Okay, and then I just got to pick a color that I want to use. Let's get this out. This thing to me, so this is like a stamping pad called the Stamper's Secret Weapon. And it does help with impressions, but for me, what it does is it protects a lot of my surface. So if I accidentally like drop my ink, then, you know, there's less space for me to get in trouble with. Okay, I'm thinking for this, I'm just gonna get like a gray. So let me use, I haven't used this one yet. Let's do this. The Orca, which I think is kind of similar to that color. So let's use this Orca gray ink from Paper Person. Yes. Scrapmos for the day for, oh yeah. Oh man, I'm so behind you guys. I need to catch up on your convo. Hold on. Hi, Mallory. I saw you squeeze in here. Hey there. Don't worry about it. You're never late. There's no such thing as being late or on time. You show up when you show up, except for me. I'm the only one who can potentially be late. Out of here. Okay. Yes. So I'm just like making this pattern. It says fresh out of the oven, which is kind of cute. So yes, we'll do it. And then we will keep on going. Okay, there we go. So there's my pattern. Nice and quick and easy. And I like this color. It's actually it's a really pretty color. I got all of the Paper Person ink pads because I don't have a ton of color ink pads. I got some new storage. Well, they're new for me. They're those like towers from scrapbook.com. And they had this really crazy deal that they were doing one day. I think they featured it on maybe a Facebook Live or something. And then they did a deal with them afterwards where you could get 2 of them for like 20 bucks, which normally you can get 1 on sale 50% off for 20 bucks. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a whole bunch of them. And then I got these mounting strips they're like 3M mounting strips, and I hung them on the wall. So now I have all my ink stored on my wall, and it's awesome. I love it, love it, I love it, I love it. But I also know now that I don't really have a lot of ink. So I have all of the Allie Edwards Crafters inks, and I now have all of the Paper Person inks. And then I just have random other ones, like a couple random scrapbook.com, a couple random Tim Holtz. Like, I don't have like a ton of inks. But so I did go ahead and get the whole Paper Person ones, and I actually really like them. Dye inks are my favorite just because they dry really fast. I think is probably why. And they're generally a little bit more like solid fill than others. And when I'm going for something that's got a more distressed look, then a lot of times I'll pull out my Allie's Crafters inks because I feel like those, which I believe are a pigment, have a little bit more of a distressed look to them. So it's just, you know, personal preference, but I've been very happy with the Paper Person stuff. Hey, Caleb. I'm glad you stopped in. What else? Who else? Oh, and oh, hey, Caitlin. Meyer pickup. Yes, that's okay. I love that you listen to the lives in your car. That's hilarious. Michelle, I'm glad you like the Paper Person too. I don't know. I was, you know, it's always a bit of a risk to just go all in and get it. But I felt like, I think what it is for me, I like to get the inks from the companies that I use the products the most, because the companies tend to make their inks match the colors that they use in their kits. So like the Allie's Crafters inks match a lot of the colors that she uses in story kits and stories by the month. So I know when I'm using those products, I can use her inks and it'll all be really cohesive. And I figured that Paper Person would be the same way, that they probably would be smart about it and make ones that would go really well with the products that they're creating. So I figured it was a safe bet, but yeah, it's always a little nerve-wracking to get new stuff. New stuff when it's ink, right? So anyway, just my 2 cents. Okay, so there are my pots from that card. I just wanted them to have a little bit more behind them. And that's literally all. I felt like if it had a pattern behind it, it would feel less stark. So that is that. Paige Evans challenge, yes. So for International Scrapbook Day, which is on Saturday this week, super exciting. Who has plans? What are you guys doing for INSD? I will be scrapbooking here at home. I'm trying to get a bunch of projects done this weekend, so I have a little bit of like rest weeks in between. So I have like 2 really intense production weeks, and then I have 2, you know, like softer weeks. So I'm trying to cram even more into this one so that I have even less to do for the second one, but we'll see how that goes. And yes, but if you are looking for some what do I want to say, inspiration, I suppose, for INSD, International Scrapbooking Day. I know a lot of people are hosting things, like Victoria Marie is doing a weekend crop that you can join in on. I'm sure it's like all her other ones where it's like $7 for the weekend, something like that. But there's that you can join in on. There's also Paige Evans all day on Saturday has various like projects and challenges. So a lot of her creative team did special projects just for the day, and some other people that she had from the community come in to help out with it too did some projects. So there's like challenges with each one of them, and winners, and like all this fun stuff, and free cut files. So if you're not a part of her Happy Scrappy Place Facebook group, then, and if you like cut files, right? Because if you don't, then this wouldn't be for you. But if you do, then you can hop over to her Facebook group and join it. And then on Saturday, I believe she's giving away 9 cut files for free, something like that. She has a whole schedule of all of it. It's very intense, which reminds me I need to write my post tonight before I go to bed and submit it. My project goes live, I think, at like 3 p.m. or something. Okay, anyway, this is project number 1 done. And I'm really glad I decided to flip it around and use that paper. I like that paper better. So I like it. I like it. And there we go. So, oh, you know what I should do? Do I have any? I have no date stamp. Okay, or no date stamping. So let's date stamp this. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna predate it to let's put this to like, well, this would have come out in February, right? So let's put this to February. Like February 27th. Sure. Okay. Sounds good. And I'm just going to put it underneath my title. And that'll be that. So I'm trying to remember to date stamp things so that I can remember when I recorded things later when I go back and look through these. Okay, so I'm going to set that one to the side, and then we will pull out the next. So now I am done with these. I'm not going to use these on any more projects today. So normally, see, here's the trouble when these come with these perforations. Like, so if you fold them up, then they break apart, right? Because normally what I like to do with my alphabet stickers is I hole punch them and I add them to a ring, and that works out really nice for me. So you know what I'm gonna do? This will be kind of wacky. That's okay. We're gonna make do. I'm going to staple this together so I can just flip it when I need to get into it. There we go. So now I can just flip it when I need it. I don't use alphabets all that much, but you know, when I need it, it'll be there. And then we will hole punch this up here and add it to the ring. That works. Okay, so I'll set that to the side to do later. And then I'm also done now with these stamps, which I can now put in the thing. This one is my favorite one. It's the beer one. And this one is just the cooking one, which is also really cute. But I honestly probably won't use it as much as I could. Have you prepped for a week in the life? Yes. Yes. I still have more to do for sure. Like, I need to think about that next week. On Monday next week, I'm doing a live chat on Instagram at, I think it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. I'll have to double check that, but I think it's 3 p.m. And it'll be a chat with me, Morgan Beal, Jenny, oh my gosh, I'm losing her last name. Jenny, it's gonna come to me. She's therapy something on Instagram. And I believe Lisa. So the four of us are going to be chatting about planning, about week in the life planning. Oh, this one's going to be easy. Oh, I need that again. I need that stamp again. Yay, 2 things in 1 thing. Okay. So, which means I also need just some random white paper. Oh, this will work. Anyway, so we're chatting all about planning on Monday. For me right now, I've got my embellishments set aside. I've got like my general flow of my album is figured out. What I don't have is a photo list. I usually like to print out, Allie's got these like daily sheets. They're free on her blog in one of her older Week in the Life posts. And I like to print those out and then, oh, sorry, scroll moment. And then fill those out for each day. So I need to print out my sheets. I need to type up a really rough like photo list of things that I want to make sure to capture each day. And then I will probably be ready after that, except for whatever we do with the prep party. You know, that usually Allie has something, or usually, I say usually like she does it every year. Last year when she did the prep party and she had those, the prompts for each day, that changed my format just a little bit from my album last year because I wanted to include those. So we'll see what happens with the prep party this year, if there's something else that I'm going to end up wanting to do. But right now, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to get my head totally in the way here. Sorry. Okay. But I am going to... the Ray pie. That's so funny, Shuan. I'm pretty sure it's therapy. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's how she pronounced it, or how she pronounces it. I think with the idea that like scrapbooking is therapy, although I could be totally wrong. Like, don't take my word on that. So what was I going to say? So for Week in the Life, one of the things I am doing the same this year as I did last year. I will probably continue to do it the same until it no longer makes sense, is to highlight a specific person on a specific day. So I started doing this last year and it worked out really great. Because I felt like I had more purpose in the photos that I was taking, number one. And number two, this is what I want. And number two, I didn't overwhelm everybody with the number of photos I was taking of them, if that makes sense. So for instance, and I'll have to figure out like what day is best for what person. Because I'm thinking like, it's a toss-up if I'm going to be Thursday or if Isabella's going to be Thursday, because we have a virtual art class on Thursday, which is like something special for her. But Thursday during Week in the Life is Thursday live for me. Like I will be here live on Thursday night. And so that's something special for me. So like who's going to get Thursday? I don't know yet. My husband will probably get Wednesday because he does a weekly like game night. He and his buddies play Dungeons and Dragons online. So, you know, that will probably go to him. And then, you know, it's just figuring out who gets what day. And the nice thing about that is I can tell my husband like, okay, listen, Wednesday this week is going to be your day. So I'm going to stalk you all day and take your photos and it'll be okay because it's only one day. That I'm going to stalk you this bad. You know, it'll get better. So the way I do it is I do each of our family members. So it'll be me, my husband, Aaron, Isabella, and Jonah. And then I also usually do, again, I say usually, like I do this every year. This will be my second year of it. So I will also do a day that will be dedicated to the cats, which is different because last year we only had one cat and now we have 2. So it will be different what they do. And hopefully I can capture the fact that they're monsters that just fight all the time. Play fight, but still, like, super annoying. So I'll do a cat day, and then I will do the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I do as family days. So just trying to capture moments where the whole family is doing stuff together. So that's my structure of how I go about the week. It's just figuring out, like, okay, do I want to, you know, like, specifically what photos do I want to take, sort of a deal, and that thing. So, loving your guys' comments, hilarious. Okay, so I'm going to do this. And that is probably a lot of what I will talk about too on Monday, is how I organize the week by person, you know, that sort of thing, because that's really different. There's no, maybe other people do that too. But I don't know. That was just something I totally made up last year for myself because it made sense. And so I'll talk about that, and then I'll talk more about, like, the types of photos that I'm going to make a list of to make sure that I take, and setting alarms, and, like, how I can set myself up for success throughout the week. Partially that's why I'm working really hard now to get a lot of my scrapbooking stuff done, which, I mean, part of me is like, yeah, like, a real week for me, and a real week meaning any other average week, I would probably be scrapbooking a lot more than I intend to do during week in the life. But that's because during week in the life, I'm going to be busy taking pictures of everybody doing their things. So I'm not going to have as much time to stand here and do my work. I'll still do some, but it will be nice to have a head start so that I'm not feeling like, you know, I'm falling behind or something. But anyway, yes. All right, so yeah, Teresa, that's even better that you have 6 of you, because then, yeah, then you have, each of you would get a day, and then you have one day to, like, recap the whole family thing. And I will say that throughout the week, like, you know, let's say it's a Monday, and let's say that I have designated Monday to be, I don't know, Aaron's day or whatever, whoever's day. If I get, like, a really good picture of Isabella or, you know, one of the other ones, then I might still include that in my week in the life. But I'm definitely more intentional about looking for the moments in the day when Aaron is interacting with the kids, or when Aaron is working, or when Aaron's doing the dishes and those sorts of things, and telling those stories about, you know, what his role is in our home and in our family, and then amongst his friends, and so on, you know, that it's a really cool opportunity to tell those stories, because they do change over time. Like, the things that we do, our responsibilities, you know, how we relate to people, it does change throughout the course of our lives. And it changes more, like, rapidly than I think a lot of us expect. You know, I definitely didn't think there would be a lot different this year, but there is. There sure is. Okay. This has so much space up here. So what do I want to do here? This story that I am telling right here is kind of a funny one. I was originally thinking about using this paper here to tell a story about making Pan de Muerto, which we make in November every year for Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos. But instead, I thought, you know, because we do that every year, so that might be a cool story to tell in another year. Whereas this year, something that was really different is that we had to make our own bread because the store ran out of bread. So during, like, the beginning of COVID. So that's the story that I told, was baking our own loaves of bread because you couldn't find it in the stores. And, you know, and then the worst thing is after we made our own bread and decided, you know, this is way better than store-bought bread, then the stores ran out of yeast. So then you couldn't even make your own bread either. It was ridiculous. But, you know, one of those things where I probably will never have to tell that story again. So it's a fun one to have. I'm trying to decide if I want anything there. I don't know. I don't like anything from that stamp set. And I'm trying to think if I have others. No, I might just leave it. Or maybe, let's see how this works. Thinking, what if I did, how tiny are you? Oh, I think it'll work. Okay, F-R-E-N-C-H. F-R-E-N-E-N is what I need. Okay, so I'm gonna put French bread instead, because that's technically what this was loaves of French bread. Okay. E-N. And then I can say that I actually use some of these, so yay. Obsessive sourdough making. Yes, I remember seeing that, Etienne. I remember that one. Yes. Yeah, and I see a couple of you guys that are saying you'll probably do one on a smaller scale. That's totally fine. Like, that's totally good. F-R-R. What I think is so cool about a lot of these projects is you can make them, you know, what you need them to be for you or what you want them to be for you. They don't have to be these big, huge projects. And I can honestly see how, you know, maybe throughout the years of life, things change where there's less people at home or those sorts of things. I mean, there's always stories to tell. So I think that there is always a benefit to participating and telling those stories, but it doesn't mean they have to be a giant 6x8 album, you know? R-E-N-C. We'll see if I ever get myself to be concise and smaller. I just texted a friend today and I literally sent them a novel and I said, I'm really sorry. You know, being concise is not my superpower. I have lots of words and I can't leave them out. B-R-E-A-D. So E. The E goes in the middle. Yeah. And that feels better. It feels better to have something up here, to me at least. So I think this was the right move. Trying to find yeast. Yes, it was like the worst thing. I couldn't even believe it. And then we finally found it, right? And bought a giant thing of it. Now I have a giant thing of yeast because, you know, the bread making craze has since stopped. There's just not enough time in the day. I have so much respect for people who did the sourdough, like Etienne, you and your sourdough. That is a work of art. Like, that is so hard. This stuff, this like French bread, literally takes like 2 hours. And by 2 hours, I mean like mix it for 10 minutes and then let it rise for an hour and then like push it down, then let it rise for an hour and then throw it in the oven. It's the least, it's the least labor intensive bread you'll ever make. So I have no patience for sourdough and lots of respect for people who did it and made it. A. Okay, one more. D. And then this one will be done. Ooh, the middle stayed. Yay. French bread. Done. And I have no date. Okay, so this one I'm going to date randomly again. It doesn't have to be precise. It doesn't matter exactly what day it was. Just, you know, general. In general, this would have been probably March of last year. So let's just call you like, sure, like March 2020. 2020. There we go. You killed your sourdough at least once. Oh man. So do you still make it then? It's like raising a child. Okay, owning a fish. Owning a fish sounds less intense. Yeah, we had a flour shortage too, Lynn. Yes, like you couldn't buy flour. Yeah. I will never, that is something like I don't think I will ever forget, is like just how ridiculous all of the like supermarket stuff was. Like trying to find stuff from the grocery store, it was insane. That was just an insane time, wasn't it? Okay, there's this one. Super easy, simple. French bread. We made it, and thank goodness for it, because we needed bread during the pandemic, and we got it. That is that. Okay, next one. Crackers with the discard. Interesting. I never wanted to make bread until all the yeast ran out. Hilarious, Millie. Yeah, it's just wild. What a year we have lived through, right? Like, goodness gracious. Okay, so this one is another random story. Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut the edges off of this. So this one, we'll see how this works. We're gonna give it a try, but it might look really cool, or it might look really dumb. So we'll find out. But basically, what I want to do is, yes, trying to remember all this stuff. Okay, what I want to do is make a page where I have circles like cookies, kind of. We'll see if this works. I'm gonna need a piece of paper though. So I'm gonna grab, maybe I'll just grab some textured paper, because I like the look of that anyway, and it's right here. I don't have to go across my room. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so I need to cut this down into an outside of the page protector. I don't think I need this right now. Okay. And we'll punch these out. So I did bring these over. I don't know if this is the right size. Ooh, I think it is. Good. So these are 2.5 inch circles, which of course has to be a little bit less than that. 50 pounds of pizza flour. Etienne, okay, I have a question for you regarding pizza. So, pizza flour, does it make your pizza better, or is there not really that big of a difference? Because when we first started making pizzas, we didn't buy pizza flour. Like we actually couldn't find it. And my brother-in-law has since started making his own pizzas, because if his twin brother's making homemade pizzas, then he has to make pizzas too. He's probably listening and listening to me right now. Anyway, he bought pizza flour. He found it. But the recipe that we used, which calls for pizza flour, doesn't work for him with it. So I'm just curious, like, what is your opinion on pizza flour versus regular flour? What makes it so much better? At a high temperature, the pizza flour is better. Oh, you know what? I need to punch these out. Alex is listening. Yes, hilarious. Alex is my brother-in-law, in case anybody didn't know. Okay, so I'm going to, oh wait, not that one. Lies. The same one I want. Back to the oven thing. Oh, okay. Yep, it's so true. Okay, so what I've got 3 photos that I cropped into circles and I punched them out. And then I'm going to punch out 3 of these pieces here, and I have not done any journaling on this page, and I'm not going to do it. I'll do it off screen because I'm going to handwrite it in these circles, and that will be good. Okay, so there's my circles. Yay. I also should see, does this look cool in a circle too? Fluffier Neapolitan for New York style. Oh, okay. Oh, you think regular is fine for New York style? Oh, interesting. I don't know if I've ever had a Neapolitan pizza before. 50-50. With flour, tortilla, cheese sauce, and pepperoni. Hilarious. I love that, Gina. Do you guys make your own? Okay, does anybody who is listening, who's here tonight, does anybody make your own tortillas? This is something that we do. Homemade tortillas are the best. They're so good. And I'm just curious who else does it and can join in on my love fest for homemade tortillas. They're so good. Okay, so this I'm going to put on here like that, like that. Oh, and you got to trim you down. Oh, wait, Lisa, I want to see what you said. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I see. Huh, cool. Too nervous, I'll mess them up. You should try it anyway. Okay, because the worst case is, right, that you mess them up, that they don't turn out right. And I believe all that you lose out on is some flour. The other stuff goes into it too, but you know, you would have lost out on some flour. The best case is that they turn out awesome, and now you have a new recipe that you can make, and it makes you feel really fancy to have those homemade tortillas. And they're not too hard. I believe the key is to let them sit for a while. I don't know, I'll have to ask my husband, because he's been making them and tweaking them for a long time, and I believe that this final batch that we had was the best batch that we had, and he let it sit like under a moist towel all day or something. They were awesome. But yeah, they're not too hard, and they take, I mean, with everything, it all takes practice, right? It all takes practice, because it's, you know, rolling and stuff like that. But the worst case is that you lose out on some flour. Do you have a recipe recommendation? I do. I don't know it, but my husband knows it, so I will. If you guys remind me, because I'm gonna forget. So remind me, and I'll post a link to it, or I'll post a picture of it or something on my Instagram, so you guys can go find it. The one that he uses, because I don't know where he gets it from. Okay, so this is this side. So we've got cookies, home baking, yay. So for the opposite side, we're gonna make this like random, hopefully this looks like a cookie sheet. And if it doesn't, then it's just gonna be a grid of circles. And that will be cool too. So you'll send me a message. Perfect, Lisa. Yes, send me that. And then that will remind me, and I'll do it. I'll find it. Okay, so we've got that by 8.25. So there's that. Let's see what happens. 2 free bags of walnuts. Yes. Make cookies. Yes. I don't make cookies enough. I need to make them more, because like homemade, yes. See what I mean? Like I took that picture and it looks good. It looks appetizing, but like it's definitely not like Pinterest worthy. So therefore it is scrapbook worthy. That's what we're calling it. Who needs Pinterest when you can throw it in a scrapbook page? Okay, so I'm gonna hole punch this. I don't remember if I was planning to put this inside of a page protector or not. So whatever, we'll pretend not. And worst case I do, and I can just cut off the edge. That'll be fine. So, put that up there. This goes here. And then we're going to lay these out and we'll see. This will be interesting. So the lines are where I'm going to add my text on here. And then the other ones, we'll put that one there. Is this the same? It probably is the same picture. Whatever. And we're going to go like that. And I suppose it's kind of reminiscent of a cookie sheet. Good enough for me. Okay. I'm going with it. Off Dad's lap. Hilarious. Oh man, baby May is already learning how to stall bedtime. Yes. That's so funny. My kids are becoming pro stallers as well. And by becoming, I mean they are. So it's like all the things, right? They're like, I need my water, and I need this, and I want a book, and now another book, and a lullaby, and all this stuff. I just got done today, earlier today, I was working on my evening story kit, stories for Story Kit Crush, which will be, the evening story kit will be on YouTube in June. And it will be on Patreon in May. And so I was working on all of those, and it was really fun, actually, to document all of our bedtime routines, like our evening bedtime routines. I can see where looking back on that later, because again, you know, those types of things change, right? So looking back on that later, how it'll be like reminiscent, you know, we're going to reminisce over all the lullabies that we used to sing, which will be fun. Okay, so let's make sure you're in line. Sure. Cool. All right, so that's my journaling spots, and then we're going to do... Wait, Millie, why'd you say uh-oh? Uh-oh. Oh, because of the book thing. Maybe, yes. Flip the little circle with the... So you're holding it. Ooh, that's a great idea. So I'm like this. Okay, that's a great idea, so that it looks like a different photo. Even though it's the same. Thank you, Lisa. That's a great idea. Yes, I'm going to do that. So it'll be like, bam. Look at all these awesome angles of my cookie. Okay. Oh. Okay. So I am currently compiling a bunch of projects for my niece for May. I think I have like 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 that I'm just waiting. Like I need to go in and I have Caitlin and Alex, my brother and sister-in-law, send me their journaling and their photos each month. So like I'll project plan my projects and then I text them and I'm like, hey, I need photos and a story about bedtime. I need photos and story about something about May that makes you smile. That sort of thing. And then they will send it back to me. So I've got some that Caitlin has sent to me that I just need to type up and add into my stuff. And then I'm thinking I might just do a video that's like multiple projects that are all for her album. And then I'm also hopefully this month would be my plan. I wanted to do it this week, but I probably won't have time for it. So maybe next week I'm going to put together the monthly stats card so that I can start documenting that as well. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do for this one. It's just like this. Yeah. So what I will do off screen is I will add in my journaling onto the page, and then I need to also date stamp this. See, I'm getting better about date stamping. I'm getting better. The trouble is I don't actually know when I wrote this, or, well, actually I'm writing this today, right? So we're gonna, well, I probably should stamp it from the day that I made it. The cookies, I mean. But don't remember when that was. So we're gonna call you March of 2021. Sure. Sounds good. And then we'll date stamp this guy so that we've got a thing. Okay, looks good. Okay. You guys are making me hungry. Oh no. Printing duplicate pics. That's hilarious, Lisa. I don't do it very often. I probably did it here because I only had these pictures and I was like, I need one more, so I'll just do it again. Oh wait, look at, they are different. If you look at these pictures, I'm gonna put them up close. This one has more blue cup than that one. So they are different. They just look the same. But now they don't because they're different angles. So funny. Okay, so that is going to be that. So I'll journal it off screen, and then when I eventually take photos of them and share them, you guys will see that. But it's basically just going to be about a day of baking cookies with Izzy and Jonah, because that's all that it was. Actually, scratch that. It was the last day of Ryan doing homeschool with us. So we made cookies as a celebration. Nope, that's a lie, because those had M&Ms in it, and those didn't have M&Ms in it. So, nope, it was just me and the kids. You know, I'll just make it up. I'll just pretend to, you know, that it was something. Okay, so the next three are all going to be Colorcast Designs, which are all going to have like the really fun acrylic and wood stuff. Yay! So let's start here. All of these come from the March subscription kit. Yes. Yes, Etienne, I do. I cut all of mine apart, and then I figure if there's a card I don't like, I can use the back side. And sometimes I'll use it as the back side, sometimes I'll use it as a pattern, but I cut them all apart. This month, one of them has a really beautiful like floral pattern on the back that I feel really bad cutting into, but also I know that I'm so much more likely to use it if I cut it into cards versus leaving it, you know? Okay, so this is going to go like this. This story. Oh man. So this story that I've got here is, I'm pretty sure I told you guys about this. Did I tell you guys about the licking the marker off the window situation? I'm pretty sure I did. Or I probably posted it somewhere. I must have. If I haven't, then you're in for a treat. So about a month ago, my kids found, and by kids, I mean my son, found a permanent red marker in like my teacher school stuff. And he drew with that permanent red marker, luckily not on the carpet or furniture or anything like that. He drew with it on the window. So at least, you know, bright sides. We have that bright side that it was on the window, easily clean upable. So one day I was coming up the stairs and I looked at the window and I saw a red marker on the window. And with children that constantly make a mess, my first reaction was like, well, I'll just handle that later. I don't feel like it right now. I'm just going to leave the marker on the window because whatever, they're just going to marker it again anyway. So I left it. And I left it for days and days and days. And so eventually, I forgot about it. And I was in the kitchen with Aaron doing something. I think we were making dinner, and the kids came into the kitchen. Right, exactly. Famous last words. The kids came into the kitchen, and Jonah, his face, which I had cleaned it by this point, but you can kind of see that, like, over by his eye and his nose and this cheek, he was like red. Like, his whole face was red. And so he came in and he's like kind of talking, but mostly just like babbling, and his face is red. And I'm like, oh my God, what has happened? Why is your face red? Because I totally forgot that there's red marker, right? So I'm like, why is your face red? Why is your face red? What is happening? So then Izzy comes in and starts telling me what happened. And she's like, well, we tried to get the marker off. And as she's talking, I'm like staring at her because something seems pretty off with her mouth. It's a little more red than usual. So she's like, we were trying to get it off, and we rubbed it with our shirts. Great, awesome. We rubbed it with our shirts and it wasn't coming off. So we decided to try to lick it off. Yeah. So my kids licked permanent red marker off of the window and thus turned their mouths the brightest shade of pinkish red I've ever seen. And of course, in that moment of head smacking, I decided to go grab my camera and do a photo shoot. So, so this is the photo shoot of my kids licking permanent red marker. So, kids do the weirdest things. Just the weirdest things. And that is why we homeschooled, because if there's like COVID virus stuff on a window somewhere, my kids are going to lick it. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to see if I can get this into this. I don't know, this hole's really small, but I really want this black and white twine on here badly. So we're going to figure this out. Yeah. Like, did they see mommy and daddy try licking them? Right? Seriously. Like, where does that even come from? Like, let's see, my shirt's not working and my hand's not working. So maybe if I lick it, that will clean it. Oh no. Licked the handrail at water park at a hotel. We took our kids recently not recently, but maybe a couple weeks ago, to go get new clothes. And, we took them to the store in town, and I had thought like, oh, they'll probably have shopping carts and stuff, and we couldn't find them. So the kids had to just kind of walk around with us. And in the meantime, so I'm with Izzy trying to figure out clothes for her, because you guys, clothes with a 6-year-old. Anyway, so we're working on finding clothes, and in the meantime, Aaron is running after Jonah, trying to just corral him, and he licked the floor at the store like just a couple weeks ago. And again, we were like, oh my gosh, well, this is why we don't go places. This is why we just stay home. Because these kids, yeah, I don't understand kids and licking things. I just don't get it. Must be really fun though. That's what I'm gonna say. During the pandemic. Oh my gosh. Use water to clean things. Yes. Yes, Lisa. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. A couple weeks back, so Jonah likes to just eat stuff that he shouldn't, because, I don't know, I guess he's just weird like that. And a couple weeks back, I found him in in our bathroom, and he had taken Aaron's Old Spice deodorant, and he bit a chunk out of it. I don't know if I found pieces of it on the bathroom floor, so I don't think he ate all of it, but he definitely ate some of it. And the worst thing is they, that wasn't the first time. Like, before we have found him, he found Aaron's deodorant and came down the stairs with it and was licking it like a lollipop. And we were like, okay, nope, gross. And had to go like look up, like, oh gosh, like, is this gonna poison him? Like, we need to look up poison control and see if we need to call them. And saw, you know, that pretty much you're fine unless they start showing signs, and then you need to take them to the hospital. So then when he bit the chunk out of it, then we were like, oh my gosh, we're back to this again, you know, so we need to monitor him for signs. Ridiculous. Maybe he has. Yes. Yeah. Mine he just eats everything. It's weird. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he's got like some weird thing that he just, I don't know. Yeah. Hopefully he'll grow out of it. I will say I've never met, I've never met an adult before that eats things like deodorant. So we have hope, you know? That was probably the best advice I ever got, about potty training. Was like, well, you know, how many normal functioning adults, because I mean, there are circumstances, right? But I feel like a lot of times we kind of know about those things as they're happening. But how many normal functioning adults do you know that still wear diapers? And you're like, yeah. You're like, it'll eventually, you know, eventually they'll be potty trained and it'll be fine. You know, you don't have to rush it and be on this certain timelines. It'll be fine. Okay, so we've got all these tiny little tags with some twine on them. That's so cute. And we're going to stick them down onto the pattern paper. Yes, exactly, Shuin. So I take comfort in that too. Like, if I have to look it up and other moms are asking the same questions and there's an answer for me, then I'm not alone, you know, and other people have gone through this too. It's just wild. Okay, so, and then these I'm just gonna cut pretty short since they're gonna be sticky here, and that'll be cute. Yay. All right. Yes. Swimming on the airport floor. Oh my gosh, I love it. They are curious. It's so true. They definitely make for great stories. Like, I know I love the stories from when my husband and his brother were young. So my husband got caught eating Vaseline out of a jar. And so that's been one, you know, that gets told at the family gatherings. And then my brother-in-law got into a bottle of super glue and super glued his fists to his eyebrows. And I don't really know how that one ended. Like, I don't know how they separated his super glued fists from his eyebrows, but it's definitely a story that we tell at the family gatherings in order to like have a good laugh about it, because it's ridiculous. Needless to say, the super glue bottles, we don't have super glue up bottles, but if we did, they are so high and put away, because my son would totally do that. He would totally do that. So I understand the curious boys thing, but it's just funny. So I love the stories, and it'll be fun in years to come to like look back on some of these things, which I have documented because, of course, like, gotta have this documented. So there will be no forgetting that these things happened. Maybe that's what they did. I need to ask my mother-in-law. Like, so, you know that story that you guys always tell about Alex gluing his hands to his eyebrows? How did you get them off? I'm gonna ask her and see if she remembers. Oh my gosh, right? I could totally, like, what if, that would be hilarious if Jonah became like a chef someday down the road and we're like, remember back in the day when you thought Old Spice tasted good? Like, and here you are. That would be really funny. Who knows, maybe. He's just like, he is maturing his palate. Let's call it that. Oh my gosh. I have Go glue on my eyelashes before. Oh man, it sounds awful. So yeah. Wait, what? Netflix, what I see? Oh, next thing you know. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this is this one. This one is actually fairly simple. So we've got, and this is going to go into Jonah's album because he was the perpetrator of the licking of the markers. Izzy just joined in because it looked like fun. So she is a supporting character in this one. Jonah is the main one. So it'll go in his album. And so basically what I'm going to do here is just adjust stuff down. And then I've got like a bunch of different pictures of them making faces and sticking their tongues out and being ridiculous. So just in case they didn't know from this one picture that this is all about them having artificially red mouths, they'll get it from the collage. Poor little Jonah. Oh, Michelle, don't you call him poor little Jonah. That guy, he is the biggest troublemaker, but he is cute. So he's lucky he's cute. I wonder if I have, do I have a spot for this? Let me find out. Let me see if I have a spot I can just throw this into, or is this a new page protector? I am so close. Hold on, I'm a little far away from you guys. Nope, it's gonna have to be a new one. I am so close to finishing both Jonah and Isabella's first story album, which I call them volumes because that makes sense to me. So I think Jonah has one more spot to fill in his book, and Isabella maybe has like 2-ish, and then they will be done. I've already started volume 2s because like this one won't fit in volume 1, so this one will go in volume 2. So I just need to, like, I have a list. Here's my list of like all of the pages that I need to fill in. So yeah, like Jonah has, I need to do an October themed page for him because it's on the back side of an October themed page with shaker pockets, so it's got to go with the theme. And then Izzy has a couple more that I need to do for her. But so I have a list of like, here are the configurations, which I pull out now when I do my planning so that I can try to get those configurations done as I'm designing pages, because I really want to get them finished so I can share them with everybody. Because, you know, it's one thing to see like what does the family album look like, but it'll be fun to see what does a kid's album look like as well. So let's put this one to the side, and then I've got 2 more I can do here. So let me swipe all this off. This is just a piece of pattern paper now that is cut down into a 4x6. So what I'm going to do with this is put it in my stash of 4x6s. So even though it's pattern paper, as long as it's the same size, I can use that as a card at some point in time. So I'm just going to add it into there, which is a good way to use up some of that leftover, you know, paper and stuff. You know what, this one I'm going to do last. So next, get all the pieces out, all of them. Okay. So the next one I've got is one that goes into, does this one go into Izzy's? I think this one goes into Izzy's maybe. Yeah, yes, this one is for Izzy's album. So I've got an outside of the page protector journaling page, which I'll go ahead and hole punch. And then I've got a 6x8 photo of her, which I love that picture so much. It was just her sitting on top of a part of the swing set, and so she was really high above me, so I angled my phone up and took a picture of her, and I got a lot of the blue sky. It looks so cool. So let's hole punch it. These are some of my favorite stories to tell, are pages like this one. So what this is 6 small stories from one random day. And I pair it with just a photo that I love. So I believe this was a photo from the day that I did the journaling, but it doesn't always have to be. Like, I'm okay with it not being all the same. Need to like move some of this so I don't lose the pieces here. Oh, and I should have put that on first before I hole punched. Oh well. Oh well. So I'm gonna stick this up here. So I chose the blue to kind of go with her blue pants. Actually, I probably chose the blue not to go with the blue pants. I chose it to go with all of this, but it works with the blue pants, which is cool. And then all right, so I'm just going to attach this up at the top. I also pulled out some older stickers from an older Allie Edwards kit. I believe this was the April kit from last year, so I used some of them last year, but I had a bunch left over. So I am going to use those as my, signature bullet points. It's just an easy way to use them up and an easy way to mark, that there are different lines of text here to read. So let's chop that off. Okay, I need to re-hole punch that again. I might as well just do it. And then I'm going to put my title up here. And I've got this, and I don't know what I was going to do there. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm going to find some tiny phrase stickers. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what these markings mean. This is the trouble of waiting to actually do the stories that you plan, is sometimes you forget what you were planning to do. Okay, let's not get stuck in here, thanks. And you can come out too. All right, there we go. Okay, so okay. Oh, you know what else I should mention is that, I don't know if you guys know this, but Shuin here, which Shuin, you should tell us about it, is on the May guest design team, correct? For the Cocoa Daisy team, which is really exciting. So congratulations, Shuin. So proud of you. Sushi, yeah. Same, Michelle. I don't like sushi either. Anyway, so yes, I saw that. And I have been watching your process videos and unboxings, and it's so fun. I love that you're doing it. Okay, so this one says Stories of Today, which was my jumping off point. So it's like really, just a really like basic title, which is awesome. So good. Yeah. It's like your first step, Shuin. It's your first step. First step for you is like, you're going to be a guest. And the next thing we know, you're totally going to be on that team. It's going to happen. If you want it to. If you want to be on that team, I guess I should say. Oops. Yes, stories. So I think I want to go pink last because the T has that orangey color. These ones are some of my favorite pieces, the ones that have the white outline and then the different colors on the inside. I think they look so pretty. Okay. So delicate. I don't want to ruin it. I know I could take off the backing and it would make these, whatever, stand out more, but I don't care. Part of it is that I just want to use my roller adhesive. And if I were to take the backing off and use my roller adhesive, you would probably see the adhesive. So I'm just gonna, you know, leave it as is and be totally fine with that. All right. All right, so STOR. I'm looking at Mallory. I'm reading your comment. Crab cute. I'll go ahead. Wait, I don't eat the rolls with seaweed on the outside. So, Mallory, do you not like the seaweed with sushi? Right? Don't eat raw fish, and I don't eat the rolls with seaweed, crab, cucumber, avocado inside with the spicy mayo on top. I always, oh no, see, here's what I'm talking about. We got to be careful. Just broke it, but it's okay. It'll go in. I don't like I am not a fan of seaweed on sushi. Yeah. If it's in the rice, you don't taste it. Huh. Okay, let's see if I can get this in here now that I broke it. There we go. There you go, and you don't even know. Yay. O-R-I-E-S. I know I could probably just do liquid glue. Also, just don't feel like it. So we're doing this. Because it's all good. Oh, except for these little tiny things. Darn it. Okay, how can I... Good enough. Okay, and the E. And then we're done with this title. I'm just going to stick on the circles, throw on a couple of tiny phrase stickers, and then we'll call this puppy done. Okay. Can I... Yeah. Okay, stories of today. I was thinking this is just going to make it way dimensional. Do I mind? Do I mind if you're way dimensional? I do not mind. So we're going to stick this on there. Okay, so this says Monday through Sunday. So it's just like days of the week. And I liked that it fit like right in here. So I'm putting it right in here. Because I don't care. Why not? Now, next, last thing I need to do, well, second to last thing, is add these on. So we said, so I'm going to read this out loud so I can help figure out what I want to do here. So I said, today you watched your morning cartoons curled up in my spot on the love seat under my weighted blanket. You got to pick the show today. First, it was a Polly Pocket show, then some other random show. That's your MO, watching the most random shows. So we're going to say routine, because I said that's like your thing. Okay. All right. Today you asked Daddy to play our Super Mario 3D World game. You call it the Kitty Mario game. And I think the fact that you become a kitty version of the character totally sold you on this game. You are obsessed. We love playing as a family. I'm so glad we all enjoy video games together. So let's say nature, because video game love is got to be in her nature, since we all love video games. That makes sense to me. Okay. Today you helped us clean up the disaster of a basement that you and your brother created. I know you have fun playing with all the toys, and Jonah loves to dump everything out. Your daddy and I really appreciated you helping us. So clean. Another purple one. I don't want to do another purple one. Tidy. Tidy. Yes. Okay. If I can't get them all to correlate, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, today you were enthralled with the aviary enclosure at the zoo. It's finally open. after being shut down for months and months. You especially love the brightly colored pink and blue ones and spotting them amongst all the trees. I'm always grateful for your love of animals. Maybe spring. Yeah, I think I'll do spring. It's fine. Okay, today you and your brother shared your very own white chocolate mocha from Starbucks. My kids are obsessed with coffee, by the way. They love coffee. It's crazy. Whenever we get coffees, you always ask for sips and basically finish them off. This time we thought better of it and we got you your own. So we're going to say magic. Yes, because, you know, obviously getting coffee is magic. Now, today you asked me to sing and listen to The Lighthouse's Tale at bedtime. You know I love this song and it has a special place in my heart. Jonah and Daddy couldn't resist. Soon enough, they all joined us and cuddled in as a family. So we're going to say nurture, because that is definitely because of nurture that she loves that song. Okay, so there we go. We got some stories. We got that. Let's get some tiny phrase stickers to throw on here. Ooh, here's April. And that should be good. So we'll say, what do we want to say? Home sweet home, adventure, bloom, new routines, April showers, bring May flowers. No. Tomorrow is a new day. Adore the season. Okay, we'll go adore the season. That will be my big one. Yep. So we got adore this season. Then we're going to say home, sweet home, and adventure. So that kind of explains the day. Cool. And I'm going to call that good. So there is that story. Oh, the date. The date. Actually, this one I'm going to find out later because I know we went to the zoo this day. So I'll find out later what the date was and I will put that on there. So this will go into Izzy's story album. And then I have one final project. Oh, boy. And this one's kind of... This one's kind of a random, like a weird one. So sometimes when I'm planning out my projects, I just get like these like random ideas and they make sense to me. So I do it, but they might not make sense. I don't really know. So for this one, we've got a photo of my coffee and my feet going out the door because it was raining. And actually, I'm going to think about this for a minute. So I've got some pattern paper. I've got Rain, Rain, Go Away. I've got a bunch of these wood veneer circles, which I originally was going to put this in my pocket page notebook. But I did something when I was taking my photo for, when I was taking my photo for this week, I did this and I thought it looked kind of cool actually. So I'm gonna think about this. It's so random, but whatever. Okay. Yeah, because I did something like that before and it was kind of cool. But it might make no sense. So what I was thinking of doing is turning these into like large interactive pieces that go into a shaker pocket, which could potentially be a lot cooler than that. So we will add some stuff on here, stick you down, chop you off, and that gives me my title. Potentially need to keep that. And then I was planning to just throw this guy up here as my title piece. I like the fact that this is yellow and it goes with like the yellow of my cup. Okay, so I think we'll just go with what I originally thought. So I'm going to set those to the side for a moment. Grab this over. I want to make sure that these fit on here. Oh yeah, cool. Because I want them to look cool on the back side too. I don't want it to look unfinished. So I'm just going to stick them down onto some pattern paper and trim around them. And then these are going to basically behave like giant sequins in a shaker pocket. And then I'm going to bring out some actual sequins too. But so like there's one. So like now they've got this blue on the back. So then when you see the back side of them, they'll be blue. That's so funny. It's not true, Mallory. So not true. I have been a coffee drinker since I was very little. And people always told me that too, that coffee would stunt your growth. Sometimes, I mean, I'm pretty sure science has proved otherwise, but I'm always like, well, take me for example. So I'm not like ridiculously tall, but I am about 5'8", maybe almost like somewhere between 5'8" and 5'9", depending on my shoes, right? So it didn't stunt my growth, which was good. I know, yes. But it's a great excuse. And maybe that's why everybody said it, right? Because maybe they're like, you're a little young to be drinking coffee. So maybe if we threaten with like, you're going to be short, then they won't drink coffee and get caffeine and then drive us crazy. Because that's probably the real thing, right? It's like wild children. My kids are currently obsessed. So they like coffee, right? When I'm drinking coffee, they like to drink my coffee, which is nothing fancy. It's like I put a splash of cream or a splash of half and half into my black coffee, and that's it. No sugar, no nothing. And my kids like it. They're so weird. And then I also really like tea, and I like to make iced tea and stuff like that. And my kids also drink my tea, which is very sad because it used to be just me. My husband isn't a big iced tea drinker, so I would make myself a pitcher and it would last me a couple, I want to say a couple days, probably maybe a day, but maybe 2 days. But now my kids love it too. So I'm like, leave my tea alone. That's mine. You guys like milk. I don't like milk, so you just drink milk. But it's funny. Okay, so these are all made into some giant pretend sequins. Okay, so there's that. And then what we can do is stick this stuff down. I actually have, I want to say, you know what? I did something with this picture on social media that or like on just in my stories. That was really cool. I'm going to grab a stamp really quick because I know I took this picture on a Sunday. So I'm going to grab a stamp really quick and then I'll be right back. Oops. Okay, so I'm just wondering if this would fit. Oh, it totally would. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to, cool. Yeah, this will be cool. All right. And we'll do this. 5 miles before 10. Kids don't need any more energy. No, they don't. They really don't. Hilarious. Sweet tea down south is so good. I really like unsweet tea. Like, so here in Michigan, in the northern part of you know, the States, we have a lot of unsweet tea is generally what people drink. But you can get the sweet tea at McDonald's and it is so sweet. I can't do it. I have to get unsweet from there. But I love Cracker Barrel sweet tea. So good. Which Cracker Barrel is just like a restaurant here that we generally go to like when traveling and stuff, right? But yeah, down south, sweet tea is so good. Okay, so I'm stamping the Sunday in here because that just sounded cool. And let's hope that worked how I wanted it to. Oh, totally did. How cool is that? Okay. I love it. All right. We'll do that, and then we'll see if I want to put one of these other things in the middle. Like, what do they have on here? This is a giant stamp set from whatever it's called. You know, let's put morning. Let's just put morning. From Paper Person. I really like that stamp set a lot. I think it's super cool. All right, so we're going to say Sunday morning. And then I will work on the pocket part. Yeah, I like it. Sometimes things work out, right? All right, so we'll do that. We'll do that. Then I can put this guy away. This was nice. I feel like I did a lot more stamping today than I normally do. I've been trying to do more because I feel like for me, stamping like ebbs and flows. Like sometimes I want to do a whole bunch of it and do lots of different backgrounds. And then other times I forget that stamping even exists and I don't do it. Okay, so we've got those. I've got my photo, I've got my journaling, and then we've just got this middle section. So what I'm thinking I'll do is pull out my notebook here. I get lots of questions on the Pocket Page notebook. So for any of you on here who have asked and I haven't responded to yet, or anything like that, or if you're just wondering, I get my Pocket Page notebooks from a shop called the Stamp Spot, which is out of Australia. So Michelle is the owner, and she is the only person I know of who manufactures these. It was her concept. They might even be, I'm not sure if she has them trademarked or copyrighted or anything like that yet, but that is where I get them from. And shipping is expensive, as we all know, as we talked about before. So I generally will bulk get them and then have them sent in. So I have a bunch of them here ready to go, but I probably fill up one of these maybe once a year. Maybe I do a little bit more than one a year. So they last me a long time, which is nice. Okay, I need a new roll of tape. So that one is gone. So back a while ago in the pandemic, she stopped shipping to the US. Recently, I don't know how recent it started, but she has restarted shipping to the US again, as far as I know, because I did check her website just the other day, and there were options for shipping to the US. So I could be wrong about that, but just based on her listings, I could find some. Okay, so we can do that and that, and then we'll stick this in here. Let me see if I can. Okay, and these notebooks I make them very chunky. They get very, very chunky. I have completed one of them. I should probably flip through it. Have I flipped through it? No, I haven't. I should do that. Because I have a completed one, and let's flip this around. I just need to redo the cover of it because I usually by the time I get to the end of the books, the front cover has fallen off. So I just need to make a new cover and then stitch it on to make sure that it stays like really nice and good. So there's that. And then I can go ahead and do this other side. And then I'll fill the pocket so you guys can see what that will look like. But I will plug in my fuse tool and fuse it off screen just because it's going to take a bit of time for that to heat up, and we are getting to the end of this. So yeah, Millie, I need to do it. I need to do that. I feel like I have a couple albums I need to do some flip throughs of because, you know, I've finished them fairly recently and I just need to do it. Yes. A 12-step program. Yes, I love this stamp. There are some stamps that I find I use a lot more than others. And I have a ton of like theme-ish type stamps because mostly from being on creative teams, right? And then I have, you know, a bunch of alleys. What I feel like I am lacking for sure are alphabet stamps. So I've started to try and get like an alphabet stamp about once a month, so, or, you know, once every other month, so I can start to build those up because I feel like every time I'm trying to do a project, I don't have the font that I want, or I don't have the size that I want. Like it just, and I use alphabet stamps all the time. So I just feel like that is a category that I could feel good about purchasing more of them. Whereas like there's no way I need to buy any stamp that's about food. I have so many food stamps. I do not need any more. You know, there are certain ones that's like I just don't need that. Okay, let me grab my sequins here and we'll fill this guy up. I'm not going to need these things anymore. Put them away. And get my sequin box out. Okay, so this is where I keep all my sequins. It's just like one of those photo boxes, and then inside I've got them separated. But the ones I want are these blue ones and maybe the iridescent ones. So maybe I want this little thing. These containers I got from Hobby Lobby. They just have like a bunch of little tubes where you can add different colors into different ones. I don't have a ton of sequins because I don't use a ton of sequins, but I do have some. I think what I want to do is grab a tray. Just dump some of these into here. Okay. Yes, because I want this. So what I wrote about is about the weather warming up. And how the cold weather, the cold, dreary winter weather here in Michigan is always like, it always has such an effect on my mood. Like I feel like winters are like the time when you just feel a little bit more depressed than normal, you know? So I wrote about how spring is kind of like a resurgence and it just feels good. Ooh, what's the question? Did I miss it? What are your top 3 favorite stamp sets? I need to build up my collection. Is the stamp spot on Instagram? Yes, Kate. Yes, they are on Instagram. Yep. I'm probably going to need more of this. We'll find out. Let's dump those in here. Anyway, top 3 stamp sets. I love, it depends. I love alphas. Alphas and numbers are definite. Like, so if you were only going to get, let's say you were only going to get 3 stamps, right? I would say you need an alphabet, you need a number stamp, And then maybe something that's got like some everyday type of sentiments. Like I find a lot of value in having those types of stamps. I'm trying to think of what I go for all the time. Like what am I constantly using? So let's see how this... This is the fun part, is how do I shake this without making a giant mess? Okay. This is the idea. And yes, they're going to like pile up on each other, and that's okay. But I definitely need more. That was not enough. This is not a time to be a minimalist, right? Top 3. I usually like stamps that have like the days of the week on it, or the months of the year too, like dated stamps. I use those a lot too. Of all my alley stamps, like stories by the month ones, I really like the I don't know, I need to like go look at them. I honestly don't use mine as much as I need to, and by need to I mean need to based on the fact that I have them and I should use them because I have them. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, that's better. That's getting better. Okay, so, oh, I just shook a bunch out. Okay, so what I would do then from here, come up here, all you pieces. Let me break you up. What I would do from here is basically, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you guys this, but I'll have to do it off screen. So I am going to put a small bit of sequins down at the bottom and one, how do I want to do this? Okay, we'll do this one at the bottom. So I will do one of my weather guys and some sequins, and then I'm going to fuse it right here. And then I'm going to do some more sequins, and I'm going to put, let's say, the rain one here, and I'll fuse it. So that there will be the weather guys, the weather symbols will go down the center. So it'll be kind of like this. I think that will be cool. Yeah. So essentially that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to finish this. But I need my fuse tool to do it. So with that, see if I can do this, if I can be cool. Get in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That worked. Let's not make a mess. So that's what we're going to do. Yay. Fun. So, let me quickly, I'll pull everything back over so you guys can see what we created today. We did a lot, 6 projects. That was a lot. I feel very productive, and I feel like I get to put a lot of stuff in the books on the shelf, which feels pretty good. So, this I'm just going to leave out for now until I fuse this guy up. Okay. So we've got the pocket page notebook spread, which just needs this done. Then we've got the stories of today from Izzy. So that one's done. Then we had the story of the marker, which is this one, and all these little 2x2s with the cute little tags, which the tags were from Colorcast. Then we had the cookie page. Here's that one that I still need to add journaling to, but then this one will be done. So cookies and homemade and home baking, cool. Then we've got the French bread project. And last but not least, we have Erin's home cooking page with all these guys. So there we go. Yeah, so there's that one. Yay. Yeah, I love the colors of this one too. Me too, Michelle. So So there we go, you guys. That is it for tonight. That has completed tonight. In case you guys weren't here, if any of you weren't here at the beginning, I did announce that I am going to start taking my Thursday lives and turning them into bi-weekly instead of every week, to give me a little bit more time to prep stories, and then also to give me a little bit more time on the weeknights with the kids to help Aaron out and that stuff. So it's mutually beneficial. So I will not be here next week, and then I will be back the week after that. So yes, so stay tuned for that. I will post a schedule somewhere so that, you know, if you want to know which days I'm going to be here and which days I won't, then you'll have a schedule. Plus I work better with the schedule too, so that is also mutually beneficial. There we go. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. I have had so much fun. It's always such a joy to be here with you guys. So thank you for making my Thursday nights so special. They sure are when they are spent with you. All right, friends, I will see you guys tomorrow for Story Kit Crush over on Instagram, and then I'll also have a video here waiting for you as well tomorrow morning. So I will see you then. Until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Have an awesome Friday, a great weekend, and I will catch you guys later. Bye, friends.